Hello and happy Sunday, everybody. It's Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, September the 29th, and it's time for another chat. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. If you don't want to hear all the hi hellos that are getting ready to come up, just grab that little scroll bar and go over to about 10 minutes, because that's when it kind of dies down. But otherwise, hey, hello, everybody. If you're new with us, I hope that you will say hi and let us know that you're new so that we can welcome you to our chats. And if you're coming back for the second time, millionth time, whatever is time, please say hello. Hello, Betty. Hello, Carol Lou. Yeah, hi, guys. Hello, Mary Ann. It is so good to see you all. Yeah, so we love to say hi. Hello, Barbara. We love to greet each other. Hello, Jennifer, and happy Sunday. So this is just like having our regular workshop. So it's like having our regular physical workshop, except y'all are not here with me, but you kind of are here with me. Hello, Bernice, and hello, Marlene from Florida. So Marlene, is it still as stinking hot in Florida as it is in Tennessee? 94 today. 94. Hello, Teresa, and hello, Sandra from Dingman's Ferry. So 94 today. Yeah, it's going to be October in 2 days. 2 days, and it was 94 today. Hello, Myra. So I am wearing a 3/4 length sleeve. It's kind of thin, but I'm wearing a 3/4 length sleeve. Hello, Tag. So that I can summon the cooler weather. I don't think it's going to work. Hello, Kathy. And Tag says she really needs the chat this week. Yeah, I need it every week. That's why I'm here every week, because I need it every single week. And hello, Sandy from northeastern Kansas. Hello, Janice. So hello, Rosie. Yeah, so Rosie, what did you think? What did you think of Alyssa's moves? Yeah, at the Olaf Festival. We went down there again today, but we did not have her with us. But I kept thinking, oh my goodness, that baby's booty, she just had, yeah, she was with it. She was in it. Yeah, and Betty says it was 94 degrees in Memphis too. Yeah, don't keep sending it this way, Betty. I know that the weather moves from Memphis over here to Knoxville, but you do not have to send it our way. No, thank you. Hello, Wanda from southeastern Arizona. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Lisa. Carol says 88 there tomorrow. 64 on Friday. Yes, maybe it's finally going to start to cool off. Hello, Sandra. Yeah, Rosie, I know she's really good. She's really good. Like as soon as we rounded the corner and she heard the music, she was rocking the stroller so much that we had to let her out. And Teresa burned up running in Frankfort, Kentucky, yesterday. I know, bless your heart, but you did a great job, though, great job. Yeah, and Barbara says that we're going to pay for it later. We really are, yeah. Yeah, hi, Evie. Hi, Amy. Hi, let's see. Oh, Roberta again. Hello, Karen. Hello, Sandra from, I never do say this right, Cheetown? Yeah, am I saying it right? So, okay, so it is Sunday, September the 29th. And as we let everybody kind of get in here, I wanted to tell you that for the second part, hello, Jenny from Boston. For the second part tonight, we are going to talk about intermittent fasting. What? I know. So y'all are going to have to hang out and just hang in there and hang out and see what we have to talk about for intermittent fasting. So it's been a hot topic of conversation. Hello, Vicky from South Texas, and hello, Kathy from Iowa. So it's been a hot topic of conversation. So we're going to talk about that in the second half of tonight's chat. Hello, Orlando Debbie. And yeah, so we're going to get into the middle of it. So not going to say if there's a winner or a loser or, what the opinion is going to be yet. Y'all are just going to have to wait for part 2. Do have a couple of announcements though. First announcement, tomorrow is the last day of September, which means the next day is the first day of October. And hello, Sherry from Pensacola, Florida, but in Connecticut. Hello. Yeah, and Janice is hot in Phoenix City, Alabama. And okay. And Barbara, yes, it was in the app last week. So we're going to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it tonight. So more in depth, because it kind of fell off this week for the next topic. But a couple of announcements. Let's see. First thing, so tomorrow is the last day of September. It is also Karen's birthday, Accountability Buddy Karen. So if you all know her, if y'all are friends with Accountability Buddy Karen, please tell her hello and happy birthday. Her birthday is tomorrow. Hello, Shirley. Hello, Irma. And let's see. I wanted to announce the good news. John let me know tonight that he has lost 35 pounds. Yay! So bravo for John. He's lost 35 pounds and he's doing a great job. So we're going to keep him going and keep him going in the right direction. Hello, Lynn. And let's see. So we have that good news. And let's see. Hello, April. Also we had a vote last week on the chat links. And Marlene says it's only 92 there today. Yeah. And John's getting lots of bravos, so yay! So yeah, we'll encourage him to keep it up. But what was I going to say? Oh, lots of votes on the chat length. So, oh, and it's also Lynn's birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday, Lynn. But votes on the chat link. So it was overwhelming. Hello, Kim. So it was overwhelming. I'm sorry. Hello, Tedders. Had to break to say hello to you, and hello, Liz. And remember, if you're new with us, hello, Lacey. Please let us know that you are new, because we would love to welcome you to our little group here, our little big group. But votes on the chat link. So it was overwhelmingly keep it to the full length for the first one. So Casey has been posting these. In case you don't know this, Casey has been posting these. Okay, I'm going to try not to move my hand too much because it's making it go dark and light. I don't know if it's doing that for you all too. But anyway, so Casey has been posting these on YouTube. And again, it's just youtube.com. Hello, Loretta. youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. And once you're on there, she's been keeping the chats to 1 hour for the full thing. So the very first video is whatever the chat number is. Like tonight is 141. So like for next week, hello Alicia. So for like for this week, Casey would have posted a full length, like the full hour. She'll post that as one video, and then she'll post the extra credit as a second video. So I had asked if you all wanted them split up 30 minutes and 30 minutes, but it was overwhelming. Hello, Patty. It was overwhelming. The vote was keep the first one the full hour, and then the second one the 30 minutes for the extra credit. So that's how it'll stay. And then the fourth bit of news, which is not important at all, but we had Alyssa last night, so I did not get to do my nails, but I need you all to help me to decide, because I've been waiting to do this one, and I hope it doesn't make it too blurry doing this. Hello, Andrea. We've missed you too. Hello, Patty. So I've been waiting forever to do these. I bought these like a month and a half ago. These are fun, and they are like confetti nails, and it's called Mind Over Splatter. Hello, Patty. So I don't know, should I do Mind Over Splatter, or I got my other Halloween set in, and it is Here for the Booze. This one is glow in the dark. So it's little ghosties, but they're glow in the dark. So there's enough in here to do 2 sets. So I could do them, and sorry that made everything so dark for a second. So I could do them like this week. I could do the little glow-in-the-dark ghosties. I could do those this week, and then I would still have a second set that I could do actually closer to Halloween, which is at the end of the month, at the end of this next month. So that's so weird. Okay, anyway, so Liz says Mind Over Splatter. I know, they're so cute. Uh-oh. April says the glow-in-the-dark ones. Okay, this is going to be quite the debate. Sandy says Halloween. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start the chat while y'all keep voting, because I will go back and look at these just like I looked at last week's voting on the length of the chat. So, okay, y'all keep voting on the nails, because I got to do something before tomorrow. I don't know, might do them tomorrow night. But anyway, we had Alyssa last night, so she loves to get into Casey's Color Street stuff. So yeah, it's kind of hard to do those when she's with you. I can't wait until her fingers are a little bit bigger, and until she is Carol says Halloween, until she's a little bit bigger, and and her nails are big enough to do this, and that we could keep her still long enough to do it. Because right now I have a feeling that we'd get one on and she would be gone, because she's quite the little mover and shaker. Okay. But anyway, Alyssa loves the Color Street stuff, so it's hard to do it when she's here. So I will get those done, and I'll let y'all know how they look. And yeah, and Andrew says do the splatter ones now on the Halloween in like 2 weeks. So okay, y'all are like, it's like neck and neck. It's like neck and neck, Mind Over Splatter. And if y'all haven't done your, Debbie says Mind Over Splatter, since you will pick them off before Halloween, and then you will have the others for the next 2 weeks. True, that's true. I do have one other Halloween set, or I have a half of a Halloween set left. Anyway, so if you all want to get your Halloween stuff, though, you better hurry up and get your order in. And yes, Barbara, I had to get my water, but you need to get your orders in, because those are selling out if they're not already sold out. Yeah, and you can check out Casey for the Color Street. Hello, Susie. Okay, last week we talked about finding a sitting solution. So who sat your bottom in a little chair last week, who went to a physical workshop? I did not get to. I got stuck in the car on the phone with one of my attorneys. Ugh. I hate doing business stuff, but anyway, it's a good thing. Hello, Cheyenne. So I did not get to sit my bottom in a seat, so I do not get to do a thumbs up. So if you sat your bottom in a chair last week, attended a workshop, let's see some thumbs ups. And if you are with us here live on Facebook, you can do thumbs ups and you can do hearts. The heart is if you did both. So if you attended here with us last week, if you attended with us here live last week, or if you sat your bottom in a chair and attended with us live, then do a heart. If you are not watching this live, if you're watching this on replay, either on the Facebook page or in the Facebook closed group, or on YouTube, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. You can't do the little thing at the bottom where you do the thumbs up and the heart, so you will just have to, you'll just have to tell me. You'll just have to either send me a thumbs up emoji or send me a heart emoji, but you can do that as well. So everyone who attended last week, whether you attended a physical workshop or you attended here with us or both, here are your Bravo stickers. Bravo, everyone. Bravo, 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 everyone. And when we get the new IfYouHaveAnEgg.com website up, which is going to take a little while, but when it's up, I'm trying to find a way to do printable downloads so that y'all could actually download the Bravo stickers when I send them to you. Would that not be cool? Okay, but last week we talked about finding your sitting solution. So this was your weekly for last week. And here were the overnight oats. Did anybody make the overnight oats last week? But here was your weekly from last week. And if you didn't pick one up at your meeting location, you can download them from online. There's several people who post the link to that, to the PDF, so that you can go back and get that. But finding your sitting solution. Last week we talked about, do y'all remember? The average American spends 8 hours a day sitting. 8. That doesn't include sleeping. That's, hello Mary, that does not include sleeping. So that's 8 hours a day just sitting still. So one of my sitting solutions, I don't know if y'all have even noticed this or not, but one of my sitting solutions is for the entire hour that we are together on Sunday nights, I'm standing. So I don't sit down for the entire hour. I know, and Lynn, I'm with you on the overnight oats. Can't do them. Don't know why. I don't like them. But I know a lot of people that love them. But for your sitting solution, for finding your standing solution, your homework was to come up with a way to remind yourself every hour to get up. Now that I should have prefaced that by saying that you did not need to get up every single hour for 24 hours, because remember a few chats back we were talking about sleeping and staying in bed and getting a good night's rest and how you can stay in bed and how you can do some of those things. So I did not intend for you all to set your alarm clocks or do your fitness tracker or anything like that. I did not intend for you to do that and get up every single hour on the hour. So, but during your waking hours, the hours that you should be up, finding some ways. So a couple of you all actually either got or had your boss order a stand-up desk. So I think that is super cool. That a couple of you all actually got stand-up desks. So we've talked about doing that in the showroom. I don't know, we're still talking about it. I've been trying to spend some time there in the showroom instead of just sitting at a desk, typing the whole time. And Carol Lou ordered a stand-up desk and she can pull it up and stand if she wants to. I think that's awesome. I think you were one of the people, Carol, that got a Bravo sticker for that. But I've been trying to, when I put my packets together, or when I'm filling out extra paperwork or whatever, I've been trying to stand at one of our barrels that has a granite top, stand there and fill it out. And Sandra has a stand-up desk at work. That is awesome. And so we've been trying to do, some different things to make sure that we stand up. Our new setup, the new showroom setup, is not as conducive to walking around as the old one was. So I've been trying to print some things upstairs so that occasionally I have to run up the stairs and come back down. The old showroom, I could start people, and I would do this too. So like if this was one of the displays, I would start people here and I would be talking about the different countertops and things and the different edges, and I would start them here and I would walk them all the way around, because one trip around was like 80 steps. And if they didn't seem like they got it, I would walk them around again, because that was another 80 steps. But you all came up with some good ideas. I saw some about, getting up every time there was a commercial. Standing up when you were on the phone, like if you're sitting at your desk all day and if someone calls, standing up when you answer the phone. That would be all day long for me. So maybe I should try that one. Walking out to get the mail, walking over and changing the channel on the TV. That one's kind of high tech, low tech, whatever, getting up and changing your channel. But y'all had several good ideas. Y'all had an okay week. I'm not going to say it was one of your best weeks, but y'all had an okay week on your homework. So for everyone who did their homework, here are your Bravo stickers. Good job, ladies. Good job. So I want y'all to keep doing that. Let me see. I have 11 of the 12 hours. So on my Apple Watch, I have it set to record, 12 hours out of the day, because I figure there are 12 hours in the day when I should be getting up at least once. It does make for some weird times. Like if you're in a meeting and you have to stand up, oh, I just have to get up for a second, just got to stretch. Here, let me stretch for 60 seconds. Oh, there we go. And your watch go ding to tell you that you're done and sit back down. If you're riding for a little while in a car, maybe get out and stretch. I know you can't stop maybe every hour, but, try to get out and stretch. But so yeah, bravo on those. So y'all keep it up, keep doing it, keep finding your sitting solutions. Just because the week is over does not mean that we need to stop finding ways to get up, because remember, sitting is the new smoking. So they're saying now that it's just as hard on your heart and your body to sit for long periods of time as it does to smoke. Okay, this week we talked about living your why. So this was your weekly from this week. Again, if you didn't pick one up, you can download one from the WW website, or you can get one at your next meeting. If you can get them each week, if you log on to WeightWatchers.com, you can print them off. They are hit or miss on the app, so I don't know what's up with that, but just try to take a few minutes, standing up of course, at a stand-up desk, and download the app every week if you are online only, digital only. But the recipe for this week looks really good. I got super excited because I thought these were sausage balls at first, and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Sausage balls would be so awesome. They're not. They're turkey pesto meatballs, which also sounds really good. Oh, and look, hold on, I just got something. Oh, it's telling me to put my arm down because I have had my hands up this whole time, and so it thinks I've not stood up. But anyway, turkey pesto meatballs, which looks equally as good, but I really want some sausage balls. So if y'all have a good WW friendly sausage ball recipe, please send it. Please send it. Okay, but this week we were talking about living your why. So today is Sunday, September the 29th. It is Accountability Buddy Karen's birthday tomorrow. And it is chat number 141, and it is titled Live Your Why. So a lot of y'all might think, why do we need to spend, an entire week on this? Well, it's really important. It's really important to know why you are doing this, why you are on this journey, and why you started this journey might be completely different than why you are on this journey now. So, Barbara, I'm going to go ahead and get some more water. Okay, so I started, Accountability Buddy Karen and I started WW. It was Weight Watchers back then. So I was trying to do the math on this, on how old I would have been. So I'm pretty sure that I would have been like 26 years old, 26, maybe 27 years old when we started Weight Watchers the first time. So definitely, I'm 100% sure that my why when I was 26 is very different than my why now, or even my why 10 years or 5 years ago. So my why when I was 26, we were young, mothers of children. We were going to school events, we were going to soccer games, well, not quite yet because the kids were, were still pretty little, but I'm sure that at 26 why I joined is because I wanted to be skinny. I probably wanted to be, be back in a bikini again. I'm 100% sure that it was all about looks. I'm 100% sure that my why when I was 26 was all about looks and had nothing to do with my health. I am confident in that. I'm absolutely confident. Then, as time went on, my why started to change, and my parents were getting, much older. And when Karen and I joined this last time, and we have not stopped this last time, and I'm trying to think how many consecutive years that would be. Let's see, this last time that we joined, I want to say it's been probably 5 years solid, probably 5 years without stopping, and I'm not stopping now. Where we used to join, go, lose, stop, gain, join, lose, stop, go, whatever. This time, I'm not stopping, so I'm sticking with it this time. And again, I think part of that is because my why is so different. So my why is not just to hit a certain weight and then get off, wander off again and then come back. So now 25, 26 years later, hello Stacy, my why, as my parents were getting older though, my why switched to this last time that Karen and I joined. I started getting seriously concerned about my future health. Back then, that was like 5-6 years ago, because my parents were both having significant problems that were not necessarily caused by unhealthy eating. but they were aggravated by it. So they were, exacerbated, and I wanted to use a big word, but anyway, they were exacerbated by some unhealthy eating. My dad was a salesperson, and he would get up in the morning and start off with coffee, and a little bit of cereal, and then he would just eat junk all day because they were running, traveling, flying, doing things like that. It was, very common for him to have a couple of pieces of cheese and and some crackers, for lunch, and then not have anything else for supper, and then supper might be, a handful of nuts or something. So my why was it was very different when I started thinking about that. Now, 5 years later, which is 25 years later, from when we started WW again, or started Weight Watchers, it was Weight Watchers back then, started WW again. Now my why is to make sure that I can move. I mean, Alyssa is fast. She is fast, and she is an active little girl. So I want to make sure that I can, stay up with her. I want to make sure that I can enjoy every minute of her, of her life, and I'm not the grandma, that's just sitting in a rocking chair, knitting and not doing anything else, just because I can't move. So I don't want to be that grandma. I want to be the fun grandma, that can do stuff, that can go to the Olaf Festival, that can go down to the park and play in the water, that can run and, and can squat and can pick her up, and can do things. So, and Sandy said the camera froze. So if a couple of y'all could just say, hey, to let me know that y'all are still there. So thank you, Loretta, I know you didn't mean to, but thank you for saying so true. But that is my why now. Okay, so something that WW wants us to think about is that the scale, and I love the way they put this. I love it. I don't always agree with what they've written, but I love the way, and Liz is knitting right now. I know, Liz, it's okay to knit. Knitting is not bad. I couldn't say crochet. And thank you, Barbara, and thank you, Andrea, and thank you, Sherry, and thank you all for the hearts and the thumbs ups. I couldn't say, hello, Myra. I couldn't say sit in a rocking chair and crochet. Thank you, Lynn, because that's what Casey does. That's what Casey does. Hey, Susan. But anyway, I don't always, and hello, Debbie, and hello, thank you, Debbie and Susie, and hello, and thank you, Kim, thank you, Irma. Anyway, so I can't, okay, and thank you everybody else. Thank you, Sandra, and I'm going to, thank you very much. Thanks, Jackie. So, I don't always agree with what they say, but I really love this one. So listen close to this one. Hello, Trish from sunny, nice weather, California. I hope nice weather means less than 90 something. And Carol, who said that's exactly why she changed over to her health, because she needs to be there for her granddaughter, who is home. Ooh, she's home and out of the NICU. Yay, Carol, that is such good news. That is fast. That is super fast. Hey, Patty. Yeah, that is super fast, Carol. So that is awesome news, and we're going to want to see some pictures soon. But I love what they say here, though. The scale doesn't always show us the confetti and balloons number we wanted. You ever thought about it that way? The scale does not always show us the confetti and balloons number we wanted. So we don't always get the ta-da, confetti and balloons going up and everything. That is so true. So whoever wrote that at WW, thank you. I don't know why, I just love that one sentence. But it says, weight loss goals can feel out of reach. When a week doesn't go as planned, it helps to focus on the ways you still kept after your why, the reason that you embarked on this weight loss journey to begin with. Okay, so they want us to think about a couple of things, and to help us remember that why, so that when you don't get confetti and balloons, when you get the wah, wah, so that when you have those days, that you can get right back on track. And you don't get down in the dumps about it. So they give us 4 things to remember. The first one is to envision your why. So it's really easy for me to envision my why now. Back 25 years ago when I was 26, I just had to put a picture of of me in a bikini up on the refrigerator and try to remember that. Okay, it wasn't really, it wasn't realistic. I was a young mother. I was busy. I was working full time. So trying to get into that, bikini again, that wasn't, it just was a lofty goal. Let's just say that. It wasn't impossible, but it was just lofty for me at the time. But envisioning my why now is super easy because I see my why every Monday, every Tuesday morning, sometimes on Tuesday afternoons, and sometimes on Friday or Saturday. So it's easy for me to envision my why, and I envision my why running quickly in the other direction, screaming. And her new thing now is the cutest thing. I'll have to try and video it for y'all. I'll have to get Casey to video it for y'all. But she's starting to say ready, set, go. And when she does ready, set, she cocks her arm back. I don't know what that's about, but she cocks her arm back and says, ready, set, go. And then she runs as fast as her little legs will carry her. And then at the end, she goes, woo, we won. Or I won, I won, we won. And she's so excited about it. So envisioning my why is a little bit easier right now. So they want us to envision our why, and we want to go back to the purpose that made us start. So mom was 25 years ago, so I'm not going back to that purpose. So review what it is, think about what it is, think about what your why is, write it down, make a picture of it, see it, 3 to 4 times a week, keep it on Mondays like I do, so that you'll know what your why is. Number 2, review your week. So go back and think. I know, and Andrea's like, yep, Carson. I know, because you're almost exactly the same age, aren't they? Yeah, and Debbie, I think she has. But it's funny because it's like it's a relay race, though, because she starts with her arm out here, like it's a relay. But anyway, review your week. So go back and think throughout the week and acknowledge some things that kept you, that kept you off course or kind of threw you off course. But it's okay to go back and acknowledge them. You don't want to, let's see, it's like, who was it that said, that life, I don't know, something about life was like looking in a rearview mirror. You need to be able to see where you were, but just don't turn around. Don't turn around, and go back that direction. But you still need to be able to glance up every once in a while and see where you were. So take some time to review some things that knocked you kind of off your game, in the previous week. Jot them down. I think, I'm a firm believer that it helps if you can write these things down, and Lynn's exactly on the money. Lynn says after breast cancer, she had a new why to stay healthy. Exactly right. And Lynn, we are so happy that you chose your why so that you could be here with us, because we do enjoy you every single week. Number 3 is to give yourself credit. So focus on actions that you took this week that could help you, that helped you to stay on track, to move towards your why. So I had gotten really, really out of the habit of walking so much, walking in the mornings while my parents were so sick and while we were moving our business to 2 different locations. So John has done, kudos getting me up on Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings and starting walking again. Now, am I back to 6 days a week? No, but we are walking Saturday and Sunday mornings again, which we have not done in months. And I'm telling you, that made it a whole lot easier to keep up with Alyssa on Monday. A whole lot easier. So go back, give yourself credit, envision it, review your week, mark down some things that didn't go so well, and then give yourself credit for the things that you did do well. And then, as always, they want us to pick a small goal. So if you can't think, of what your why is, if you don't remember what your why was, hopefully y'all all remember what your why was. But just, pick something for this week. And what I want you to do for your homework is we're going to have an extra special thing. So does everybody have your listening ears on? Listening ears on? If you do, you have 2 things for homework. The first thing, if you will post something on Instagram, Facebook, the blog, if you'll post it on, if you put in a comment on YouTube or something, sorry, still East Tennessee, and hashtag my why. So do a hashtag, which is for those of you that are my age, it's the #, hashtag my why, MYWHY, and I'm trying to do it backwards so that when you all are watching this later that it'll be frontwards. But remember to tag me in it. So if it's a picture of a new grandbaby Carolou, or if it's a picture of whatever, or if you just write it down or whatever, if you tag me in it, if it's on Instagram, it's at IfYouHaveAnEgg. If it's here on the Facebook page, it's at IfYouHaveAnEgg. If it's in our Facebook group, it is at Kelly Green Milligan. If it's on Connect, it is at Scrap in Stamp 2, number 2. And if you're going to do it on the blog, or if you're going to do it on YouTube, you'll just have to type me a note. But do hashtag, so tag me in it, but then do hashtag my why so that I know that it was for your homework for this week. But as an extra special bonus, anybody who can list 30 days of whys. So Carol, if you do this every day, so if you list 30 days of whys, that's hashtag 30 days of why. And if you post something every single day for 30 days, so October the 1st through, I know October has more than, let's say September the 30th. So if between September the 30th and October the 31st, if you post 30 days in that time period, tag me in it. So wherever you're doing this, tag me in it. and then hashtag, so again, the £, 30 days of Y. If you'll do that for 30 days over the next, it's actually over the next 32 days, if you'll do that 30 days out of that, and then let me know when it's your 30th day, I am going to go back and count them, because after I go back and count them, then I'm going to send you a free t-shirt. So if you will put 30 days, if you'll invest 30 days in yourself, then I will invest a t-shirt in you. So how does that sound? Does that sound like a good idea? So it's homework, it's easy homework, and surely we can all come up with a why, every day for 30 days. But if you will do that, every day for 30 days, and I'll put the instructions in writing down here in the, in the comments so that you all don't miss that. But if you'll invest 30 days in yourself, because that means you've got to think about yourself every day for 30 days. It's just 30 days. 30 days out of the next 32, then I will invest a t-shirt in you, and that is your homework. So what do y'all think? Yep. Betty says worth it. Kathy says awesome. Lynn says worth it. Okay, sounds good. Sherry says I'm in. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's get ready for part 2, because I know this one's going to bring, our extra credit today is going to bring lots of, maybe some controversy, a lot of discussion, I'm thinking, and thank you all for the thumbs ups and the hearts, I'm assuming, over the t-shirt. So, okay, I'm going to get a sip of water, and I will be right back, and then we will start part 2. So hold on for a second. Okay, and we're back. So this is part 2 of chat number 141, and it was titled Live Your Why. So hopefully everyone who is watching with us here live, y'all are going to hang around for this extra credit portion. And if you are just joining us, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, or if you are watching this later on Facebook, which you can, then hello Carla. Or if you're just joining us, like Carla is, she is just now joining us, then we have been talking about our whys and the 30 days of why. So you'll have to go back and watch what your homework was. But this is part 2 of chat number 141. Today's date is September the 29th. And for our extra credit today, we're going to talk about fasting. So this is probably the most intertwining discussion that I have heard amongst other members, amongst other WW members, for the last few months. So last year, keto was all anybody was talking about. So everybody just wanted to talk about keto. That's all they were talking about. This year it's been, or at least this second half of the year, it has been fasting. So we have a person in our physical workshop who is doing intermittent fasting, and I'll tell you all what kind she's doing and what kind of success she's having with it. There are several different kinds of fasting, and there's no way that I have listed them all. But we're just going to go over that for the next 30 minutes or for the next 27 minutes, because I've already babbled for 3 minutes. So fasting, pro, con, by the time we're done, don't know if we're going to decide if it's good, if it's bad, and who it's for and who it's not for. Okay. There are lots of reasons to fast. So fasting is pretty much just, I'm just going to give you my definition of it. So fasting is just removing something from your diet for whatever reason for a time period. So it could be a food, it could be a food group, it could be one thing, it could be many things, but you are, and Cheryl says they claim fasting is a big part of keto. Maybe. Well, Warren is here from South Africa. Woo, hello, how are you? But fasting, there's lots of reasons to do it. So it's basically, like holding something back from your diet. Like holding something back from your diet, again, for a period of time. So the period of time might be one day, it might be a week, it might be, for a longer period of time. And it's going to depend on why you're doing it, as to how long you're going to be doing this fasting. So you could do it like before a test, like if you're going to have, like if you're having a colonoscopy or something like that, you're fasting because you can't have anything on your stomach, before the test. If you're getting a blood glucose test, you're fasting. So everyone who is checking their sugar in the, the next morning, you are fasting. Because you're not going to get up in the middle of the night unless your sugar drops too low. So you take your sugar, it's a fasting blood sugar, the next morning. You could be doing it for a food or ingredient elimination. So, like if you're trying to decide, like if you're allergic to a food, or if something is, like if you have a sensitivity or an intolerance, like maybe gluten or something like that, you might eliminate a food or ingredient, elimination, just for that. It could be for religious reasons. Some religions you fast for certain periods of time, or you fast as part of prayer and meditation, or you fast for certain periods, like certain holy time periods. You might fast for that. Some people fast during meditation. They fast for that because it's supposed to give you more, like keep your mind off of food, because sometimes when people are meditating, they don't you don't want to be thinking about something else, so it helps you take your mind off of that. Or some people fast to like reset. I know people who fast after holidays or after an overindulgence. So I have I have people I know people who do it, who do some form of fasting as a reset. Like if you've just like overindulged on, I'll just pick sugar. Well, because this one person in particular, if they've eaten way too much, and Lisa, we're going to talk about that in a second. So, and we're going to talk about different types of fasting so that you don't. Lisa says it sets her up for a binge episode. We are going to talk about that. So please do not think I'm condoning fasting yet, or at all. I'm telling you what the different kinds are, because I have heard too many people just say fasting means not eating. That's not what it means. Fasting does not mean not eating. It could mean not eating, but it's just like let's see, I'll just use this example, and I know it drives my friends and family crazy when I do it, but let's see, all cockapoos are dogs, but not all dogs are cockapoos, if that makes sense. So all women are humans, but not all humans are women. So fasting, some forms of food with removal are fasting, but not all fasting is food removal. Does that make sense? Okay. So, what was I saying? Anyway, this one person, when they've eaten too much sugar, or like when they've there's like over Christmas, they apparently what their family eats is just like heavy laden with sugar, heavy laden with carbs, and they just feel sluggish and slow in other areas, if you know what I mean. And so they do a white flour, white sugar fast, so they don't consume any processed flours, any processed sugar, any processed, any of that stuff. So they're doing it, it's more like a cleanse at that point, but they are fasting because they were withholding that particular food group for that period of time. So that's what I'm saying a fast is. Okay. So there are different types of fasting. So here's where I need y'all to listen. Okay. So there are different types of fasting. One type of fasting is I call it omission. It's just omission. You're eliminating one food or a type of food from your diet for a certain period of time. That would be the one that you would use like for testing, or like to cleanse, after this big holiday, meal or whatever. So you might hold, a food. So you might fast, and hold a food. I have a friend who will, she doesn't eat meat, for so many days out of the week. And it's not because she doesn't, it's not because she doesn't like meat, and it's not because she doesn't, enjoy it, whatever. But she withholds it from her diet for a certain number of days a week. So she is fasting, from meat. Some Lent, is a form of fasting, because you're withholding from that, or abstaining from that, or whatever, for a certain period of time. So omission would be just eliminating one food or a type of food for a certain period of time. There is another form of fasting called a 5-2 diet. And a 5-2 diet means that you eat normally for 5 days. So you would eat your normal number of points, whatever, for 5 days, and then you would restrict yourself for 2 days. So restricting, might mean, so you might like use all of your points, for 5 days, and then you might restrict yourself to just your dailies, or try to stick, not use all of your dailies, for those 2 days. And remember, I'm not condoning any of these or saying that any of these are good. Please listen all the way through, because we've got a lot more to talk about before you make any, form any opinions about it. But 5-2 means you're eating normally for 5 days, and then you are reducing that amount for 2 days. So you're restricting it. So you're omitting or withholding, some amount of food, for 2 days. So notice that one didn't say you don't eat for 2 days. So too many people think fasting means you are not putting anything in your mouth for some period of time. Okay, that's not necessarily what it means. So this one isn't no food for 2 days. It's reduced food or reduced calories, or in our case for WW, it would be reduced points, for 2 days. Okay, this one, the girl that's in our group, that is, Teresa says sugar makes her finger joints swell and hurt. So that might be a good one to, omit for a little while. Or maybe you could do the 5-2 and do 5 and then 2 days omit it, let your body kind of rest. Okay, the girl in our physical group who is doing intermittent fasting, she is doing this one. She's doing 16-8. So this is, so she's doing 16-8. So there are 16 plus 8 equals, anybody? 24. So this one all has to do with a 1 day, one time around the sun. Yeah, one time around the sun, 1 day. So what she does is for 16 hours a day, she's not eating. So this form of fasting does include not eating for some period of time, but it's only not eating for 16 hours. So you're asleep some amount of those hours. So she doesn't eat anything for 16 hours, and then all of her points that she's going to consume for the day, she eats that within, yes, and Orlando Debbie is exactly right. So anything that she's going to eat, she eats it within whatever point she's going to use that day. She eats them within those 8 hours. And if she does not, I hate to say it this way, but if she does not consume all of her points within those 8 hours, she's not getting up at 9 or 10, the hour 9 or the hour 10 or whatever. Also on the 16-8, it does not matter what time it is. So, you don't have to say that your 8 hours, is from 8 in the morning until, what would that be? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, until 4. So you could start at 9 until, that'd be 6. So you can make your 8 hours whenever you want to make it. So like for me, if I were going to do 16-8, I would probably pick my 8 to be later in the day, so that it's it's periods of time when I'm at home and not at work, because it would be much easier for me to not eat while I'm at work. I'm not saying not to eat. I'm just telling you what the different kinds of fasting are right now. So just hold with me. But that's what she does. So she does not eat anything for 18 hours, and then she has her 8 hours. And she can move her 8 hours, so she doesn't have to make it the exact same 8 hours every single day. She just is only, fitting her food in for that. And for all of these, water is still fine, in the time period, in the other time period, when you're fasting, even if the fasting doesn't mean withholding all food, water's okay. I think coffee's okay. Unsweetened beverages, I think are going to be okay. Not like juice, but like, like unsweet tea, something like that, it's going to be okay, during that. We're just talking about food right now. Okay. Then there's one that's called Eat, Stop, Eat. So you do a 24-hour fast 1 to 2 times per week. So 1 to 2 times per week, you would stop eating. So this one does mean no eating. So you would fast for 24 hours. So like when you had breakfast one day, if it was your stop day, then you would eat your breakfast that day, and then you would not eat again until after breakfast the next day, or lunch to lunch, or dinner to dinner. So in that one, you do have a whole 24 hours, 1 to 2 times a week where you're not eating, but it's called stop, eat, stop. And so you stop eating for 24 hours, you eat, and then you pick another one and stop eating for 24 hours, and then you eat, if that makes any sense. Okay, then there's an alternate day fasting where you fast every other day. That seems like a lot to me, but you fast every other day. So you can eat small amounts. So it doesn't mean you're not eating anything though. You can eat small amounts of raw fruits and vegetables during the day, and then you eat your bigger meal at night. Okay, so when you just say alternate day and you fast every other day, my brain, even though I've been sitting here doing all this research this weekend, my brain still makes me think fasting means you're not eating. But listen to this one, so I immediately said, gosh, that seems like a lot to me. This one though, you eat small amounts of raw fruits and vegetables, so not cooked, but raw fruits and vegetables during the day, and then you eat your bigger meal at night. So that one's called alternate day. So every other day you're going to do that. What does that sound like? What does that sound like to some of you? Does it sound like maybe that you're just eating your 0 point fruits and vegetables, during the day and then having a bigger meal at night every other day? I could maybe do that one. I could probably do that one. But that one's called alternate day. You fast every other day and eat small amounts of raw fruits and vegetables during the day, and then your bigger meal at night. And when it says bigger meal, it does not say sit down with bacon and eggs, biscuits and gravy, and just shovel it in as fast as you can. That is not what it says. None of these say when it's time to eat that you're binge eating, okay? So we're going to talk about that too in just a second. Okay, let me breathe for just a second. I've been talking fast. Okay, the next one is spontaneous meal skipping. So spontaneous meal skipping means that you're just going to spontaneously skip a meal. So I accidentally do that at work all the time. If I get to work and we get busy, we have lots of customers, and I'm going, sometimes I accidentally skip a meal. So that would be spontaneous fasting. When you skip a meal. Sometimes people will do it. Somebody up here earlier said they do that right before weigh-in. So they purposefully skip a meal right before weigh-in on weigh-in day. So that would be spontaneous fasting, or spontaneous fasting. And Loretta says, I would think it's fasting between meals. Technically, yeah. Loretta says she stops eating at 7 in the evening and her first meal is at 9. So that would be, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so that's like 14. So you're right in there. So you're doing like the 10, 14 fasting. So that could work too. Okay. Then I'm going to say, I have done this before. I have done reverse fasting, which, instead of actually fasting, I have done reverse fasting where I have stayed on track, like stayed within my points, every day for 13 days. And then on the 14th day, use all of my points that day and use all of my weeklies from that 1 week, not from the week before. I still never use my fit points, but I do that, because then my body, so it's like I'm not really fasting, for the 13 days, but it's reverse fasting. So I'm not using any extra, and I don't do it all the time, but so it's like I'm not using all of my points, for 13 days. And then on the 14th day, I use all my points for that day and all of the weeklies for that week, not the prior week, not the first 7 days, because that kind of, I don't know, that kind of kicks my, sometimes if my, if like I'm sluggish, if I just can't, can't get anywhere, it kind of kicks my system in. Okay, so let me say what this is not good for. So this is not good for anybody who has a history of eating disorders. So if you have had, or if you feel like you have, or especially if you are diagnosed with any kind of an eating disorder, so anybody that's gonna have real binge issues, anybody who's got anybody that's, especially if you've had a diagnosed eating disorder, please do not try anything like this unless you have consulted, a doctor, because this really could, if you already have these kind of tendencies, there is nothing wrong with you. First of all, we all have weird tendencies to do weird things. If yours just happens to be an eating disorder, mine's something else, or somebody else's is something else. But I just want you to be careful, though, because I do not want you to accidentally kick yourself, into a bad spot, by trying out something like this without getting the advice of your physician. It is not good for people that have metabolic or digestive issues. Again, unless you are instructed by your doctor. If you have blood sugar issues, please do not start fasting without your doctor's advice and then go, I don't know what happened, Kelly. My sugar was like 40 when I got up this morning. Please don't do that. Please don't. Consult your physician if you have any issues like that, metabolic disorders, digestive issues. We do not want to mess your tummy up. We do not, if you've worked really hard to get your gut back in order, we don't want to mess it up. But for those of you on the other hand who have a sluggish gut, if you know what I mean, if you got a little bit of slowdowns, going on there, some form of intermittent fasting, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it can kind of shake things up and get them moving again, if you know what I mean. Just drink plenty of water, plenty of water. Okay, it is not, no, 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 no. Nowhere in any of this does it say anything about binge eating or going crazy on the times. Oop, uh-oh, see, thinks I'm not standing up because I don't have my arm down. Let me get my last hour. But it says nothing about going crazy. So I did a diet years ago. I don't remember if it was before. No, it had to have been after WW. So it was one of the times that I had decided, oh, Weight Watchers is not working for me. I'm not losing weight fast enough. So I went on a diet where I don't remember what you ate. Like all day long, you didn't eat. I don't think you ate any meat. I'm trying to think now. I don't think you must have eaten any meat. Whatever it was really, really restrictive all day long. And then you had 1 hour to eat whatever you could. You would be shocked if you could see what I can stick in here in an hour. I mean, I'm sure it looked like a hot dog eating contest or something. But yeah, I lost a little bit of weight just because you were doing something different. And and whatever I lost, it came off really fast. But as soon as I started eating like a normal person again, after my stomach was all upset and after I was, I don't know, just messed up, from this. So, oh, did y'all hear that? Okay, so look, I just got my goal, my standing goal. So, yep, stand goal achieved. Okay, so I get my Bravo sticker from last week. But anyway, but it says, but don't do that. Do not binge eat or go crazy, if you choose to do any of these. And then yes, always consult a doctor, if you're going to do anything that's way outside of your norm. And yes, still track. So I'm going to say still track, which I know some of you were thinking, oh, if I do 5.2 or 16.8, I'm not going to have to track anything. Please still track. A, because you still need to know what you consumed. B, we're still on WW. If you're here with me for WW, that's what we're on. C, if it does work for you, you're going to want to remember what you did. If you're like me, you might do great. If you do 16.8 for 2 weeks and you do great and you're feeling good, and whatever, and then you get off of it for 2 weeks and then you think, oh, what was that thing that I did a couple of weeks ago? And you're not going to remember, so please still track. I do want to say this. At this time, there is not enough research on any of these topics. There's not enough research for WW to advocate this. Now, I am not a WW leader. I am not employed by WW, but right now, there's just not enough research for WW to jump on this bandwagon today. So today is September the 29th. I'm not telling you, and Maria, we'll go back to that. I am not intermittent fasting at this moment, but we will talk about which ones I have done and how they have worked for me. But as everyone already knows, there are changes. There are minor changes, minor tweaks, every year, and there are a little bit more tweaks every other year. Well, this is the every otherth year. So there will be some minor changes, but as research develops and as they kind of get a handle on this, if WW decides that some form of intermittent fasting is a good idea for us, I'm sure they'll introduce it in some way. But for right now, they are not, backing this. So just keep that in mind. But they're constantly striving for ways to help make us healthier, better, faster, stronger, like the bionic men and women. So, if they find new research or if they, find one of these paths, if it looks better than others, for us, for our overall well-being, they may look at introducing something like that. That does not mean they're introducing it though. So please don't tell them, Kelly said, hey Oprah, Kelly said y'all are going to start doing intermittent fasting. Okay. And yeah, and Loretta said maybe bread will be 0 points. Yeah, I don't think any of us need that to happen. Okay. Also, it does not mean it's a free-for-all when you're done fasting. So, whatever the non-fasting time is, it does not mean that it's a free-for-all. So there's nothing in here that says eat a bundt cake or, eat a loaf of bread or, whatever when you get off. And all of them that I researched, hello, Starlet, all of them that I researched show that while you are in the fasting portion, that water, coffee, and non-caloric beverages are okay. So that seemed to be true in all of them. So let's talk about real quick, because it is 6 till, let's talk about which ones I have done and what the success was. So omission, I have done omission fasting for testing. I have done omission fasting when I just didn't feel good, like when I feel bloated or, or feel sluggish or whatever. Then, yes, I'm sorry, black coffee. I meant to say that. Sorry, Jackie just reminded me. Water, black coffee. No sugar or creamer in it. So water, black coffee, or non-caloric beverages. Okay. So I have done omission fasting normally for when I feel sluggish, or if I'm just really really run down. I will omit certain things, and for me, the omission is going to be like the processed breads and the processed carbs. So back over the falls, and if you know what I'm talking about, you get an extra Bravo sticker. But by way back in the day, when, oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Don't remember what I was going to say. It's something to do with omission fasting. I don't know. Maybe I'll circle back around to it. Anyway, way back in the day, something. Okay, so the 5-2 diet, I have done that sort of. So I didn't really do it on, on the 5-2. It wasn't, 5-2. I mean, 5 normal days and 2 restrictive days. I have done that sort of when we go to Disney. We have 2 on-plan meals and 1 off-plan meals. So it's 2 on, 1 off. So it's not really 5-2, but it's like a 2-1. The ratio is 2 to 1. So we eat 2 on and 1 off, so that we can have the 1 off, and so that so my tummy doesn't get as upset, doesn't get as bloated and everything. The 16-8 diet, I personally have not intentionally done that. So I know people who have, and I know, and great. So Starlet, are you new? Are you new? Because we would love to say hi to you if you were new. Your name, I'm sure if I had seen your name before, surely I would have remembered it. But so the 16-8 diet, I personally have not intentionally done it. And when I say intentionally, I mean there are days that I have skipped breakfast, thought, I'll grab a hard-boiled egg or something at work, get to work, get busy, don't get going. There have been days that I've accidentally done it, but not intentionally. And I will say this too, if you're not intentional about it, you can, I don't know, I have a tendency to kind of go berserk, if I have an accidental fasting day, just because then I get home and I go, I didn't get to eat, and everybody else got to eat, and everybody else went to McDonald's, and whatever. And then, and then I eat too much. But so I haven't done the 16-8. My mom used to have a lady working for her that she stopped eating every single day. She stopped eating at 5 o'clock. So whatever she was going to eat for the day, and she wasn't measuring it, and she wasn't doing proportions. She was not doing Weight Watchers, but she stopped eating at 5 o'clock. It was 5 or 5:30 every single day. This lady was this big around. Okay, that big around. So she didn't start eating until like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then she stopped eating at 5:30 every single day, and she was tiny. But you know what? She didn't obsess over it. She didn't go, oh my gosh, I have to eat all of this food before 5:30. She was just like, meh. Oh, I wanted a cookie. Or she would get chicken salad sandwiches from the little place that was behind my mom's shop all the time. But she would get them, and they were little tea sandwiches, and she would eat, like, it was a little half of a chicken salad sandwich, that, and a little handful of chips, and maybe a cookie, maybe like a thumbprint cookie. But you know what? Because she knew she was going to be, that was her last meal for the day, and she was going to be ending her meals at 5:30, she didn't make a big deal about it. She didn't get real, whatever. She didn't get, and Barbara, the Daniel fast, that's a perfect example. That is a perfect example of a fast where you just omit some foods of an omission diet without not eliminating all food. So again, fasting doesn't have to mean, we have 1 minute. Fasting does not have to mean that you have not eaten all day long for days and days and days. It might mean that, but it doesn't have to mean that. But the Daniel diet is a perfect example of omitting some foods. And again, you can use it to cleanse your system. You can use it just to get back on track. You can use it to, meditate. So you're not thinking about food. You're thinking about your, something else. But the other one, that I have done when I talked about the reverse fasting. You know, again, I don't binge the 13 days, but I think it really can work. So I think if you choose something, you don't have to, but if you want to try something like this, first enter into it cautiously. Second, if you already have, excuse me, if you already have any form of medical issue, or if there's any question, you know, about your diet or your, you know, your health situation, please consult a doctor before you do this. Don't go into any of these thinking, I'm doing this for the rest of my life, because, you know, it's intermittent. Intermittent means sometimes. It means occasionally. It means right now I'm doing it, now I'm not doing it. So it's intermittent. It is not every single day. Teresa says we don't want her hangry. Oh, I believe that. And Wanda says hangry is a real thing. Yeah, exactly. So again, go into it wisely. You know, don't kind of make a plan. Make a plan. Know what you're going to eat when it's time to eat. Still track. Don't go off the charts. You know, when it is time to eat again. You know, research them a little bit. I think I gave you all the names. So there's Omission, the 5-2 diet, and it's 5:2, and you can find that just looking at 5-2 diet. The 16-8 diet, the Eat Stop Eat diet, the alternate day, and spontaneous meal skipping, and then my version, reverse fasting. Yeah. But remember, the alternate day, that one might be a good one for those of you who used to do Simply Feeling, or who like to focus on your 0-point fruits and vegetables, you know, during the day, or especially like if you were getting ready for an event, you know, like a wedding or, you know, a class reunion or something like that. That one might be a really good one, because you really could do that one really well. Good night, Susie. You could do that one really well on WW. So, okay, if y'all have any questions about fasting, I will answer them as best as I can in the comments later. Speaking of fasting, it is time for us to eat a little bit. We did have birthday dinner with Accountability Karen, so it won't be much because we did have a nice turkey burger there. But so if y'all have any questions about fasting, I hope you will ask me, or I hope you will ask your physician, or get the advice of someone else. I would love to hear what you all are doing with this, so please keep commenting. And we're going to see if we can get Dusty. Dusty! Oh, he's thinking about it. He's stretching. He's stretching. Good night, Kathy. Here we go. Loretta says, sometimes I get so hungry for no reason, it'll last for a few days. Yeah, I know, I understand. And Loretta, that is some of the time when I do the just omission, when I omit some things, it's because I've had too much sugar. So, sometimes when I've had too much sugar, then I literally just can't stop. Like, you know, like I don't know, just start obsessing. Yeah, obsessing is, you know, is what I do. So Wanda, really, for diabetic, you're going to need to ask your doctor and see if there's any of these, you know, that sound good to them. But I don't see anything wrong with doing the ones that involve still eating. Like still eating, don't completely omit eating, do, you know, that still do eating. I really think the 16-8, you know, might work out well. Just, you might have to, you know, kind of extend it a little bit, because you're probably going to have your, you know, your nighttime snack. Just keep in mind, if you know, if your sugar drops too much, you're going to have to eat something. You're going to have to eat something. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all good night. Keep asking your questions, and I will try to get them answered. If you were here for the first part of the chat, do not forget about, yeah, no, Dusty's like, Mommy, we didn't make any food. You did not make any food, Mommy. What is up with this? But do not forget about your hashtag 30 days of why, because if you do that, if you do 30 days out of the next 32, so September the 30th through October the 31st, if you do 30 days of why, and if you tag me in every single one of them, and hashtag 30 days of why, and you let me know at the end when you've hit your 30th day, let me know. I'm going to go back and count them, then I will send you a t-shirt. So I want you to invest 30 days in you, and I will invest a t-shirt in you. And Janice, you missed the whole thing. You did. Okay, you can always go back and watch it, because I'm getting ready to post it. So everybody have a great evening. I will see you next week, and let me know how it goes. See you next week. Oh, if you're watching this later on YouTube, please click here to watch the next video, or you can subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell so that you'll be notified as we post new videos. And you can order a spreadshirt. I say it wrong every time. A spreadshirt over here. So good night, everybody. I hope you have a great week, and see you later.